Good evening, I'm Noel Okol. It's not every day that the 6-person crew of the International Space Station gets a video call from Earth, and certainly not from the Pope. But that's exactly what happened earlier today when the Pope himself made a historic call to the crew that's orbiting about 400 kilometers directly above us. And we broadcasted the call live on our website earlier today, but I have some of the highlights of this historic conversation for you now.
Station, this is Isa PAO here in the Vatican. How can you hear me?
Jules, Isa PAO in the Vatican. This is Space Station. We hear you loud and clear.
Che cosa vi ha motivato a diventare astronauti? Che cosa maggiormente vi dà gioia nel tempo che passate nella stazione spaziale?
Your Holiness, we are representing here different countries, different people of our planet. And each of us has its own story, its own way to become cosmonaut or astronaut, and its own history. My story started with my grandfather, who was main chief engineer and participated in first man-built satellite, Sputnik. And for me, it's a great honor to continue what he was doing to fulfill his dreams, because space flights is future of all humanity. And space flight is always frontier for new technologies, new science, and new approaches.
And Your Holiness, in my personal opinion, what gives me the greatest joy every day is being able to look outside and see God's creation, maybe a little bit from his perspective. People cannot come up here and see the indescribable beauty of our Earth and not be touched in their souls.
This is the second time that such a call was organized by the Italian Space Agency. The first time was back in 2011 when Pope Benedict made a call to the Italian astronauts on the International Space Station from the Vatican Library in Rome. Now, we will be rebroadcasting the entire conversation on our network, hosted by our very own Sebastian Gomes, so be sure to check out our website for details and times. Now, here's an interesting story about how a graffiti artist in Rome is helping to fund the Vatican's charitable works. This super story now about the Super Pope, brought to you from our friends at Rome Reports.
Street artist Mauro Pallotta, best known as Maupal, has found a way for his love of art and his admiration of Pope Francis to be able to fund Vatican charitable works. A portion of the proceeds from this t-shirt, in which the Pope appears as Superman with a briefcase of values and the scarf of the San Lorenzo soccer team, will go to Peter's Pence, which manages the Pope's charitable works.
In this case, the message I wanted to send was hope. He is a man who, having enormous power and being the Pope, has a very human side, humble and modest. He is probably a visionary who carries a briefcase of Christian values with him.
When his first graffiti of Pope Francis appeared on the streets of Borgo Pio near the Vatican in 2014, the news made it to the Pope. He even met with him in an audience where he gave Pope Francis his first piece. Since then, the artist has surprised passers-by in Borgo Pio on more than one occasion, with his graffiti full of subliminal messages. The irony of his drawings has made him a unique artist who combines social criticism with Christian values. He's planning to participate in the next World Youth Day in Panama in a special way.
I will begin to draw about bigger and more important things, but the fundamental message will always be positive. I always try to transmit and highlight positive things because complaining never helps.
The Pope's t-shirt is available in white, yellow, red, and black. It costs €19 and can be bought on superpope.it. With this initiative, anyone can contribute to the Vatican charitable works, and in addition, wear graffiti of the Pope, approved by the Vatican itself.
And that is all that we have time for this week. I'm Noel Okol. Join us again on Monday when I bring you more news and stories through the perspectives of a Catholic lens. And we'll see you then.